Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Mirade.
And this is the man of the hour, Leo Rush.
It was all over BostonWrestling.com and our social media. But Leo, brother, they got to check out some of this merch.
They got to.
Check it out, fans, right now, available on eBay. Support Wrestling Insiders and keep wrestling legends working on eBay. Get this limited edition Bailey autographed Rob Schamberger outprint, one of only 50 made. A great addition to the collection of any Bailey fan, direct from WWE. Also comes with a mystery autograph photo and an on-air shout-out from WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas on Wrestling Insiders at your house. Get it now. Boston wrestling sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's No Holds Barred Sex, Drugs, and Rock and Roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. Expect the unexpected in 2021.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders Current Events. I'm Dan Mirade. I'll be joined by Dave Carter momentarily as the road to WrestleMania at Raymond James Stadium in beautiful Tampa, Florida continues. Another 3-hour Monday Night Raw last night to try and digest results, news, views, and so much more. Don't forget, a lot happening here in the world of Boston wrestling beyond WrestleMania itself. WrestleMania week, we're going to be having a Wrestle House in Tampa. We're going to be having a plethora of superstars coming by for interviews. We're going to do live episodes. We're going to have cyber autograph signings. A lot of fun coming your way. News will be breaking on that, hopefully within a matter of days, if not hours. We have an update on our Back to the 80s WrestleFest event, which will be taking place at Memorial Hall in Melrose, Massachusetts. An update was posted tonight earlier with myself and John Cena Sr. Again, a lot going on. This week, at the top of the hour, 10 p.m., we're going to be joined by WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas, who has one of his special Ask Atlas videos where he takes questions from the fans and gives life advice. Tomorrow night on Wrestling Insider Special Edition at 10 p.m., we're going to have special guest, the Native American Tatanka. He's back. He's going to be talking a little bit about Survivor Series 1991, a younger Undertaker, his early matches with Ted DiBiase, and much more. Thursday night, of course, put the women and children to bed early. The sex, drugs, and rock and roll adventure that is Marty Jannetty in the 80s and 90s continues on Party with Marty as Marty continues his trip down memory lane shortly after WrestleMania 5 in 1989. And then, of course, Friday night, when the lights in the Thunderdome go dim, John Cena Sr.'s dome lights up. This week he'll be talking a little AEW, talking a little Paul White, little Big Show action. So 4 big episodes this week for you to look forward to, along with all of the other great content here in the world of Boston wrestling. Again, as we note, the nightlife is kind of quiet right now due to Corona, but the eBay store is open 24/7. You can find the link in the description box below. If you tune in to Tony's program tonight, he has a plethora of thank yous to give out to the great fans that have purchased merchandise recently. Every purchase, along with the goods itself, comes with an on-air thank you from Tony Atlas. And how often do you get a shout-out on video from a WWE Hall of Famer, folks? I don't know. I've never had too many in my life. And then again, If you want to talk about great content, there's only one place to be. That's patreon.com/Boston Wrestling, where you get early ad-free access to all of these great talk shows we talk about. You have access to the Studio Shoot interview DVD library. You get exclusive Patreon content, and along with some perks, you have the knowledge of knowing that you, yes you, are helping keep professional wrestling legends working during the worst of times. During this coronavirus, it was virtually 1 week ago as we speak that the live events we had booked in this area were being decimated, which cost us thousands of dollars in wasted advertising. Airfare we're still sitting on, deposits we're still sitting on, rents we're still sitting on. It has been rough, but at least with Patreon, you can help the cause with the legends by giving them a chance to earn a little extra income, whether it be here in the studio or maybe even at the acclaimed Boston Wrestling Wrestle House in Tampa in less than 1 week's time. With that said, before we prepare ourselves for our live Fastlane watch-along Sunday, it is the man of the hour, a man that likes chocolate but nothing sour, Mr. Dave Carter. Dave, thank you for joining us here on the show tonight and prying yourselves away from the candy section.
Yes, sir. On this 316. It's 316 day,
316 day. So if you want an Austin 316 t-shirt, forget about Vince. Head on over to the eBay store because we got them. We got them, baby. Brand new, still shrink wrapped.
Yes, sir. Listen to that. You can't go wrong with that. So we're going to talk about Raw from 3/15/21, which was last night. First off, they kick it off by telling us that Bobby will face Drew at Mania. They showed it, that's how they kicked off the show. This time, not a package, which was actually a little different,
Very anticlimactic.
Exactly. That's the one thing that I put. It was like not a big build-up, though. Like, here's the main event now for this. There you go. Have a good one. But, so we got Bobby Lashley and MVP heading down to the ring. MVP gets on the mic. He basically does what Bobby Lashley said last week is pretty much now MVP saying it over for him now. MVP says it's 16 years in the making. It's the almighty era. Lashley proved all the doubters wrong. Did it by destroying Drew at the Elimination Chamber. Will do the same to everyone on Raw. Miz and Morrison had to come out and say the speech was remarkable. Out there to congratulate him. Proud to share the ring with you. They say their rivalry isn't over though. They also impersonate Stone Cold. That was like an ongoing thing throughout Raw, even though it wasn't 316 yet. They were doing it for the buildup of it. They impersonate Stone Cold, I said. He complains about defending the title twice in one night, again and again and again. Don't you want to face the Miz at 100%? He asks Bobby. Drew comes out to the ring, staring right at Bobby, doesn't even pay attention to Miz or Morrison. He basically hadn't gone to formally congratulate Bobby. He's been on the same path as Bobby and basically ask Bobby how it feels to be a WWE champion because they've both been working their way to do it. He went on about they went to the Indies, they came up here, they left, they came back, all that good stuff. Bobby says, you need not to worry about me, and the Miz says, me too. Like basically when he says not to worry about me, Miz jumps on his mic and says, me too, you don't have to worry about me too. Gives Miz two options. Either attack him from behind or run up the ramp and he'll chase after him. He tells Bobby it's going to be one hell of a match at Mania. You big bald bitch. So, I don't know. Miz starts distracting Drew and Bobby attacks Drew, leaves the ring. I thought it was a long-winded promo that should have been cut in half the time. I don't know. We've been getting a lot of these at the beginning of Raw with the same exact factions that are there, whatever you want, same kind of groups, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. What did you think of it?
Extremely uninteresting.
Yes, exactly.
Extremely uninteresting, boring. It felt like a rerun.
And the thing about it, too, is what we always talk about. So you're trying to build up for Fastlane this Sunday, but you're also talking about Mania, and they're not doing a good job of doing either.
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's awful. Is that all you have to say about it?
Pretty much.
Okay, I didn't know. I just want to make sure. We end up getting Sheamus backstage says he attacked Bobby because he wants Drew at 100% at Fastlane. Then they want to show everyone that he can beat Bobby Lashley. That's what for tonight on Raw. You can show that he can beat Bobby Lashley, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say about these. Now this week was so different than last week. Like remember last week I was proud of the promos. This week terrible. I didn't like this at all either. I don't know. What did you think of it?
There's nothing about Sheamus that I have an interest in seeing. It's been there, done that. Maybe different words, different opponents, different years, but it all feels the same. It just comes across as very boring, very redundant.
And the worst thing about it is it's all around. I know it's supposed to be about the WWE Champion, but like it's all revolving around Bobby. Like one person wants to do this, one person wants to do that, this person wants to do that. It's like,
and it's all garbage challenges.
Right. It's nothing, and they're not even good promos. I don't know. Like I said, I just get lost with all this stuff sometimes. We ended up getting Drew McIntyre versus The Miz, our first match of the night. Drew was just tossing Miz around. It was pretty much one-sided for a while. Morrison throws his glasses to try to distract or whatever to Drew. Doesn't work. He steps on him. Basically, Miz gets a little bit of offense in, but not much. Drew ended up getting the upper hand again. Morrison grabs Miz out of the ring to avoid more damage. Ref kicks Morrison out of the ring side area. Drew just beats on the Miz more and more and more. Drew hits the Miz with the Claymore, but doesn't pin him. He sits there and just looks, and he points to the Mania sign and puts Miz in the Hurt Lock instead, which I actually didn't mind that. I actually kind of liked that finish. That was all right. He's basically telling, what would you call that? Like basically instigating Bobby
Mocking
or something.
him, prodding him.
Yeah, there you go.
Provoking him.
Yeah, so there you go. And that was the finish there with the Hurt Lock. So, I mean, what did you think of that?
Again, even if this was a 5-star classic, which it wasn't, it feels like something I've seen so much of lately. It was like watching a rerun. I'm so uninterested in anything to do with Drew McIntyre and The Miz at this point. It isn't even funny. It's very boring to me.
Right on. From there, they show some highlights of Bad Bunny winning the Grammy and, being the 24/7 champion and all that good stuff, which I guess it's good for WWE, having him part of it because he did win a Grammy and that's pretty big stuff. Then they cut back and it's Bad Bunny and Damian Priest walking backstage. Nothing? Okay.
I'm glad I sent my DVR for that one so I can rewatch it again.
I figured that. Okay, so then they come back from commercial break. We get Braun in the ring. He calls out Shane. Shane says he finds Braun's comments disgusting. He would never make fun of another man. Braun says McMahons don't apologize. Braun says you're afraid of me, and he wants and basically says I'm gonna do what you don't have the balls to do and have a match with me tonight. Shane says you're stupid. You don't want this, and accepts Braun's challenge.
Well, it was almost 316 days, so maybe Braun should have watched out.
He
was on the prowl.
Yeah. Anything about that? To me, if they're trying to build up a match, like they're not another one that they're just, it's not there. It's like, I don't know why it's not the right people doing it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just not.
At least it was an attempt to do something. I hate when they do multiple segments with the same people in the same show, but it was an attempt at something. On this show, there was a lot worse than this. If there's one grain of salt,
absolutely.
I guess there was a lot worse than this.
Well, the next segment will be worse than that, which is Mandy and Dana and Naomi and Lana backstage. Truth comes walking over and Stone Cold gear and saying what? Basically, and you've seen him with the gear on, right?
Yeah.
That I actually laughed about. I mean, it's stupid, but I laughed. And then he basically drinks a beer. Basically, what I don't understand. It's not 316 day, but you're so about it. It just blows my mind because last year I think Raw was on 316 day, and it was. Remember they did Stone Cold and the
might have been the first empty arena one they had because I remember they had the horrible hard camera shot of just empty chairs.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. And they did it. Now this year they're doing it with not even be 316 day, and it's like an ongoing thread. But I don't know. I didn't like that. It's
all about the merch.
Yeah, it didn't do anything for me. Did that segment do anything for you?
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. when we get back commercial break, we get Dana and Mandy versus Lana and Naomi. Nia and Shane are on commentary. Mandy, forearm shots I put were terrible. I don't know if you noticed those. Woof, those
Everything was terrible.
awful. Yes, big time. Asuka comes out during the match. Her music hits. Shayna goes right after Asuka. Asuka gets the better of her. What was it? WWE officials end up, I bet, when they were scrambling, basically separate them both. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And Dana and Mandy win by pinfall.
Yeah.
Nothing to write about the match at all because you really didn't see the match. The match wasn't about that. The match was about Shayna and Asuka getting back together and fighting again. So honestly, we didn't really see much of a match.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of it. To me, it was whatever. I mean, I'm guessing they're either building that up. They're building that up, obviously, for WrestleMania. I think that's what it's going to be, Shayna and Asuka, right?
I thought it was going to be Charlotte, but God only knows with what they have put
She wasn't even
on
on
television the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, she isn't on. I don't know if it's because of Andrade. I don't know.
Well, I just, it was an embarrassment to put that tag team match on television once. At least there wasn't much to it this time around, but I can't see anyone sitting at home clamoring for more bad women's tag team matches.
No. Nope.
Nothing good is going to come out of that foursome.
Nope, at all. From there, we get New Day and Riddle backstage talking about... You don't like that?
No, I didn't. It was ridiculous, and it was absurd, and yet another waste of time.
Well, basically, they start talking about doing some moves on the scooter, and I know, right? I don't even can't believe I'm saying this. Riddle's telling him about moves on the scooter. Riddle wishes the New Day good luck on their match tonight for the tag team titles. Riddle says after they should go get tattoos and scooters together. That I can't believe that's a sentence that I just said, but that's exactly what they did. Ugh. I didn't like it at all. I like New Day, but you know what you're going to get from New Day. Riddle, like we always talk about, should be a killer. He's from the UFC. He's an MMA background, but no, he's joking about scooters and bro and not wrestling in shoes. I don't know. What do you think?
I hated it, as usual.
Yeah, that was
anything he does outside of from the moment the bell rings till the bell ends. It's a complete and utter waste of time that takes away of any marketability and any value the man has to them.
Yep, there you go. From there, we get the tag team title match, which was the New Day, which is Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston versus Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. I love the Cedric and Woods exchange there in the beginning of the match. I thought they did well. Woods is very underrated. I think he's a very good worker. It was a really good match, good action. I was shocked that the New Day won. I did not think they were going to take the titles from Cedric and Shelton. I thought they would be holding it for a little bit there, at least going into WrestleMania at least. But nope, New Day wins the tag titles. Then after the match, AJ Styles comes out with Almas. AJ's out there to congratulate them just in time for WrestleMania. AJ says, I don't have anything for WrestleMania. His bucket list is getting lower. Almas says they should be tag team champions. They challenged the New Day for the tag team titles at WrestleMania. Kofi asked, is there... basically, is that okay? Are you guys registered as tag teams? I didn't even know that was a thing. You want the match, you got it. I could have the ending. I mean, I guess it's building to a match at WrestleMania, so that was good. I liked the match itself. I was shocked that the tag team titles did switch hands. What about you?
The match itself had decent action, but I mean, it was just so poorly put together, especially with so much wasted time on that show. You had Woods, seriously injured, being thrown into the stairs by Shelton Benjamin, and then he's back on the apron 45 seconds later.
That's why I didn't even acknowledge it.
New Day teased as seriously injured when their dueling dives outside of the ring didn't go well, along with the weekly table spot. And as the referee hit 6 in his count-out attempt, WWE went to the commercial break. You had Cedric Alexander selling a swinging DDT to the floor from Xavier Woods. He was out of commission for about 15 seconds before Kofi actually needed to dive over the top rope to take him out again. I mean, why put so many poor, boring vignettes, interview segments, etc. in the back end if you can't even give the guys time to put together a good, strong, logical match? Hate to say it because I think all 4 guys are great, but... And I also, especially with such a lame, uninteresting pay-per-view coming up on Sunday, Why not try and jazz it up a little bit by saving the title match for that one? I mean, the title change, I should say, for Fastlane.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. From there, we're backstage now. We get Miz and Morrison with Bad Bunny and Priest. The Miz is talking smack. Miz is talking smack to Bad Bunny and Priest. He says basically starts listing off all his accomplishments and everything to Priest. Priest says, "You're right. It's gonna take a little bit to get all your accomplishments," and then basically they get out of the picture because Truth shows up with gifts, pretty much. It's Austin 316, little, like we were talking about 316 going on thread, little lunchbox, a little, I don't know what that was, a little stuffed animal, Stone Cold guy. Basically, Bad Bunny accepts the gifts. Oh, and the Smoking Skull title, which I actually thought was pretty cool. I love that title. Bad Bunny takes it and basically says, "What do you want now?" And you see Truth looking at the 24/7 title, and he tells him, "I would like that." And Bad Bunny, talks about it in Spanish to Priest, and then looks over and says, "You know what? You deserve this more than me," and hands it to him. Then it gives it to Truth. The guys with the 24/7 people come running out, and they miss him, obviously, and Truth goes running off.
Another hell of a segment right there to show the value and credibility of that title, to have Bad Bunny traded for a lunchbox and a stuffed animal.
You're going to make it a WWE title. You're going to whatever. I know it's not supposed to be the biggest title, but you make it a WWE title. We're supposed to believe in it when it's a match, but you're going to just pass it off. I don't like that.
Another waste of time.
Never want it. If you're not going to do that, you should never want it. But, whatever. From there, we get Bad Bunny, Damian Priest come out. It's Jackson Reichner versus Damian Priest. Quick match. Priest wins by pinfall, which this is a good way to build up Priest. If you're going to do something like that, at least it was, we always talk about some matches shouldn't have action, like they should just do that. So I was actually okay with it, even though I like Jackson Reichner. I honestly, he looks good. We never really get to see what he can actually do because he's always someone's lackey, like he was in Forgotten Sons.
Right.
After that, Elias attacks Priest. Bunny saves Priest from getting the guitar shot. Then Morrison starts coming down the ramp, and Miz gets in the ring. And I couldn't believe this, but Bad Bunny took the guitar shot to the back. With the Miz ends up hitting Bad Bunny with the guitar. I didn't mind this segment so much because obviously we're leading to a match at WrestleMania. We know what it's going to be.
No, it's not going to be much. Morrison came out. He looked like ODB minus the breasts. And then Miz hit Bunny. I have no idea what that was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then that guitar shot, it was best that the camera shot missed it the first time.
Missed it.
Because it was a weak-looking guitar shot.
Yep. And then he sounded like he got friggin' shot in the back.
I know. They're calling out for officials to come and help them get Bad Bunny out of the ring.
Right?
With the guitar shot that didn't look like it would take out a 3-year-old. They were working very light with Bad Bunny.
Yeah, exactly. So that's I'm gonna put money on that's gonna lead to Bad Bunny and Priest versus Miz and Morrison, if I would have to say, at WrestleMania. From there we got MVP and Bobby backstage. MVP tells us that the Almighty Era has begun. He will do damage to Sheamus tonight. I guess they're still doing these promos. You don't even need that anymore. We've already know what's gonna happen. I don't understand it. I was so bad to this show, man. I gotta admit, I was so bad to this show. Everything was bothering me about it. But I'm guessing you probably didn't have much to say good about it either. But anyways,
I do not. Absolutely do not.
I just catch myself and I'm saying other bad things. Like, it was just another wasted promo. No point to it. We already know he's facing. I mean, how many times do we need to know what he's gonna do to him? Come on. You don't have any other good stuff? I don't know what you have to say about it, if anything.
Pointless.
Okay, there you go. One word. I'll dig it. From there, they come back commercial break. We get Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman. He tells Braun he needs to warm up, so he starts doing push-ups outside the ring. I love it. Then he starts doing some hopscotch, which I did get a kick out of this because he goes, it can also help Braun learn to count. I thought that was funny. That made me pop a little bit. I thought that was kind of funny. Then Braun chases him around the ring, catches him, starts beating Shane around the ringside. Braun does a lap around the ring, and Shane hits Braun with the video camera repeatedly. Braun is laid across the table. Shane gets on the top rope and jumps outside the ring onto the commentary table with an elbow drop. I thought that was pretty good, but I could have done without the 2 buckets of slime or green paint or whatever it was. I didn't actually mind this segment because this was all right to me. It didn't bother me that much, and I kind of like some of the one-liners that Shane was throwing. I just don't understand the slime. Do you know what that means? Does that mean make you a loser or stupid if you get slime put on you?
I thought I was watching Nickelodeon again when they used to do
Yeah.
that show where they'd slime the guy at the end of it. But
Right on.
I have to say, I thought this was probably the best angle of the show.
Yep.
At
what I had.
least they had an attempt to try and go in some direction with it.
Right.
God only knows what's going to happen at the pay-per-view on Sunday, so they can try and extend this out through WrestleMania. But you know what? When Shane is on, he can be very good. Strowman has been in a lot of bad, boring, uninteresting, pathetic predicaments that have castrated him over the past couple of years. Maybe Shane O'Mac is the man to heat up Strowman again.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get, how doesn't Vince look at him? Because we always hear that he likes big guy. Vince look at him and go, man, this guy is money. Let's push him to the moon. No, you have him playing games with these guys. It's like, I don't know, man. But from there, we get Alexa Bliss swinging on a swing. She basically says, is Randy ready to play a game of truth with her? If you are, basically, you want me out of your life, then you need to take me out of it. This Sunday is your chance. So we're going to get Alexa Bliss versus Randy Orton or whatever it's going to be, which, I don't know. I know you probably hated this.
Yes.
I know you didn't understand any of this. I don't even know what to make of it, so I don't know if I can hate it yet because I don't even know what it is. They don't explain anything. They're not going to obviously wrestle, so what are they doing? They didn't explain anything. I'm guessing it's a way to build up to the Fiend come back this Sunday so then they can wrestle at WrestleMania, obviously. But it's just they didn't explain anything. You know what I mean?
Like a lot of things that they do on that program, no, nothing was explained other than there's going to be some kind of confrontation / match / whatever it may be with Randy Orton and the 5-foot-tall possessed woman.
Right, exactly. I don't know. Do you have anything to say about it other than what you
It sucked. Other than that, not much.
It sucked. Great. All right. From there, we get Asuka versus Shayna. Shayna's with Nia, obviously. Quick match. Yep, there you go. Quick match, which I was shocked. I thought we were going to get a long, drawn-out match, but we didn't. Asuka won by pinfall. Shayna ends up going to kick Asuka. Asuka catches the leg. Asuka attacks Shayna. It basically exposes the turnbuckle, and Asuka starts ripping at Shayna's mouth, trying to put the mouth over the turnbuckle, like, because you know how she got kicked in the face and lost the tooth. So she's trying to do the same thing as Shayna. She doesn't actually get to achieve of it. So what are we going to get? Like, who kicks the tooth out of their mouth first match at WrestleMania? Like, I don't know.
I don't see this one going through WrestleMania.
Really?
No.
Good. And I like that because then we don't have to deal with it every single week. Well, we got another 3 weeks.
Oh, I'm sure it'll still be involved in TV in some way every week because they just can't resist repeating the same matches and stories over and over again. But I don't see Herman lined up for the women's title match at WrestleMania against Asuka. Could be wrong. I hope I'm right.
Yeah, I mean, I hope for our sake, for reviewing this, it is over, or at least it's nothing like this, because I can't deal with it. If this is going to be your new thing every week, trying to get Shayna's tooth out of her mouth, come on.
They have to call Dr. Britt Baker maybe to come in and
maybe they'll have to get Isaac Yankum to come back in, right?
Well,
you know?
Give him something to do at Mania, yeah.
I'm saying he'll be the... Give him something to do at Mania. I love it. From there, we're backstage. Ali's talking to Retribution, basically having a big old speech to him, saying he's sick of failure. And basically, Riddle rides by on his scooter, which just right there tells you this match isn't serious. It bothers me. This stupid. You know what I'm saying? And tell me something. Do you think Riddle riding the scooters has anything to do with how Darby Allin rides a fucking skateboard down to the ring? Do you think that's why? Like, so they just, he gets a scooter, this guy has a skateboard? Like, I don't understand.
Honestly, no. I
you
could
think
be
it's
wrong, but
shit that
no.
WWE created?
No, I just think he's presented as a complete and utter imbecile that's completely uncool, which is
Just-
why today 25 people are thinking about 25 years ago with Steve Austin 316 Day. In a year or two, no one will piss on Matt Riddle, and it's for reasons like that.
Yeah. It bothers me, man. So from there we get the U.S. title match, Ali versus Riddle. Really good match, though. That I will say that.
Yeah.
When Riddle gets in the ring, he's good. That's why I don't know why they can't build him as, some kind of killer, but they don't. It was a really good match, though, back and forth. It was a long match, but Riddle won by pinfall. That's pretty much it. I mean, it was a good match, and I don't know, but probably, and I'm guessing we're going to see some version of this at probably WrestleMania. I don't know with what, but you're going to get something here with it.
I'd still like to see a series of Ricochet and Ali matches, but that's
right.
One man's point of view.
Where's Ricochet? A main event? I don't know.
Either that or he's enjoying an extra sandwich and catering. I don't know.
There you go.
Which is yet another shame, but the match itself, bell to bell, was fine. It's just all the circumstances surrounding it. There's still no explanation. Why can Ali have these 4 idiots roaming around ringside? They're not managers. You'd think they wouldn't have managers' licenses, but yet there they are every week, ready to cause havoc. I mean, it's just stupid.
It is. You're right, 100%. I mean, because, I totally agree. From there, we're backstage. Randy gives a reaction to Alexa Bliss. He says she dared him to kick her out of his life, and that's exactly what he will do. Quick, sweet. Still don't know what the match is. Don't know anything about it, but that's what it was.
Well, maybe he'll punt her and he'll be done with it on Sunday. Who knows?
That's what I'm getting. I'm thinking, because kick out of her life, I don't know. But, I feel bad for Randy. He really has to put up with this. I wonder if he even likes any of this.
Well, as I said many times, really the only bad body of work he's had since 2002 was that first feud with Bray Wyatt when he was Waylon Mercy Bray Wyatt. And, this one, it had a little potential when it started with the fire and whatnot, but what it's turned into the past 3 months is just abysmal.
Right, and I just don't get why you can't have, if you're going to do this match, why don't you have The Fiend show up? You have Alexa Bliss doing all this, and it's no good.
Well, I mean, you got to save that for Mania. I understand that, but
but
what
you need
motions they're going to go through with the pay-per-view, God only knows.
That's what I'm saying, though.
What's that?
You're losing it in the whole segment thing. So that's why I'm saying, at least if The Fiend shows up once in a while, to at least gain a little bit of interest.
Well, he was lit on fire, so, I mean, I would imagine he'd need to recuperate a little bit.
But so friggin' wasn't Randy. Remember, he got his face burnt.
Well, that was only, what did they say, 4th degree.
Oh, okay. I missed that then.
Or first degree, whatever the lightest one was. So he was only slightly burned.
Nice. All right. So that makes sense then.
He only had on the Destroy Your Dick Buyer mask for 1 week.
There you go. We get a Drew promo backstage. Sheamus and Drew are going to Fastlane and going to beat the hell out of each other and put an end to it. So basically going on with the same thing again, same nonsense. I'm just like, come on.
One can only hope they put an end to it.
Right? And then we get Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Sheamus. Drew watching from basically down at the bottom of the ramp with sitting on a chair. I love Bobby. So athletic, so good. I'm so happy he's the champion. That's one good thing WWE did was make him champion. He's just so athletic. That he's very good in the ring. I love watching him work. It was a hard-hitting, violent, good match. It was. But I just don't know how much you want to see of Sheamus. Like you said, he does nothing for you. I don't mind Sheamus. I actually like him. But we've seen too much of him. The whole show is a running thread of him, Drew, and Sheamus, pretty much, and Miz.
And the Miz, yeah. And ODB.
Yeah, I love it. Lashley won by pinfall. Bobby puts the Hurt Lock after the match on Sheamus. Then Drew gets in the ring and hits the Claymore to Lashley. I don't know if I like the ending so much to where it's basically just, I guess, putting another notch. So when we get Raw next week on Monday, it's a continued story. So I guess that's good. But to me, the match was good. Like I said, you can only see Sheamus so much in matches, but whatever. Because that was wasn't it Drew and Sheamus last week for the main event too?
I believe, yes, it was.
So it was 2 weeks of the main event with Sheamus. So, I mean, enough's enough. But other than that, it is what it is. What did you think of it?
Both guys work to try and have a good match, but just like Drew and Miz, I have absolutely no interest in anything to do with Sheamus on my television screen. I guess it was a fairly credible win for Lashley to get going into a pay-per-view he's not on, but
Right? Jesus.
why put any thought into it? I don't know. I guess they're gearing him up for the big one in Raymond James Stadium against Drew McIntyre, which I don't know. You think the fans that are going to be there are going to be hot, as in not physically hot from the temperature, but hot just to be at something live out of their homes. But, I think that Drew and Lashley match leaves a lot to be desired, and I think the finish is going to be leave a lot to be desired, in my opinion. But who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. I'll be happy. And the Bobby will leave Tampa, or I guess I should say stay in Tampa with the championship belt around his waist.
Yeah, why not, right? For grade, I gave this a 4 out of 10.
Well,
I was very hard on it. I just thought there was nothing that made me, like this was a chore. This week was a chore, and I don't say that many weeks at all about Raw or WWE in general, but it was a chore to watch this. Like I was looking at the clock, like, come on, let's go. I just thought nothing got going ever to me on the show.
Yeah, no, we were pretty close. I gave it a 3 out of 10 just because there was absolutely nothing of any interest on this show. The Shane and Strowman angle wasn't hideous. The Ali and Riddle match was pretty good. Like I said, I kind of tore apart the tag team title match, even though you had a good effort from the 4 guys, but they just weren't given the structure and the time to put together a match with logic where you actually sell wrestling moves to make them effective. So it just overall a complete waste of time. It did nothing to make me interested in the pay-per-view on Sunday. They did a very lackluster job in presenting one of the championship main events at WrestleMania as far as the announcement goes. So I just feel like it was one of those weeks where they went to IHOP about an hour or two before the show and wrote it out on a napkin.
Yeah, definitely. Wasn't my cup of tea this week, that's for sure. Other than that, there's nothing, no news at all. I mean, it's basically just confirmation of matches for other companies and things like that. But this is WWE Day, so I'm not going to get into that. No WWE news other than that. They can't during Raw. They ruined my hopes. You know what I mean?
You were heartbroken.
Tickets all set for tickets for WrestleMania, and then they cancel, and they're going to let us know later on this week when they go on sale, which I have no idea. I haven't read anything why they did that. I don't know if you do. Maybe you can explain, but I don't have any idea.
My educated guess is that it has something to do with what UFC is going to do later in April, and that they are trying to work with the city to try and come up with a way to let even more people in, but I think the problem they're going to run into is that there aren't going to be that many people willing to buy tickets to go. You know what I mean? I don't see in a market like Tampa where there's going to be next to no international fan presence, they're going to have a very hard time, even if they wanted to go with that 45,000 number, even that 30,000 number. That's why I don't want to get into the specifics, but I told you about that conversation I had with someone that was a higher up in WWE explaining how they're looking at the ticket situation right now. And I think even if they just do it one batch at a time, I think the first batch is going to have a hard time going.
Well, that's good for us, at least, I hope. Because I don't want to get stuck in the dark. So
I would not be too worried about that on such a cold product in the middle of a pandemic.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's not good that we didn't get our tickets, but it's good that might happen. Yeah, other than that, I don't have nothing else. That's all I have.
Well, unfortunately, fans, that's it. It was a Raw that pretty much sucked, and everyone agreed with it all around. We do have something for you to look forward to this Sunday night live at, I believe it's 8 p.m. Oh, no, is it 7 p.m.? 7 p.m. I'm getting my brands wrong. Yes. We have the Fastlane Watch-Along Live. In this day and age where pay-per-view parties are so limited, why not watch the show with some friends? I'm sure Slick Rick B will pop in, Maria, Tina, Vaughn, Don the Barber, J.A. Will, Trigger Trey, Ken, Patrick, your new friend, and all the rest of the regulars who I can't remember right now because I'm so tired. It's just as I got back from Florida, I tried to get ahead of the game so you guys didn't miss any content. Now that I'm back, I'm trying to play catch-up again, so I have all the content ready for when we have to go back to Tampa in a few weeks. So this man is exhausted. He's tired. I hate to leave people out by name because you're all such great folk, but we have Sunday night to look forward to, baby. I'm hungry already. Maybe we'll have a little treat as we watch the show. Who knows? Well, maybe we'll invite John Cena Sr. down, although I don't see him accepting the invitation after the brutal remarks that came from Jackie the Joke Man. He did not find Jackie's humor funny during the Royal Rumble watch-along when Jackie was reading some of the comments that the fans paid to have read in the Super Chat. Johnny didn't quite understand the concept behind it, but you know what? We'll at least put the invite out for him.
There we go.
All right. Well, I guess that's it, unfortunately. Don't forget at the top of the hour, you have a few minutes now. You have a little break. Make yourself something to eat. Get yourself a cold beverage. A very humorous episode, lighthearted, coming up at 10 p.m. after the atrocity that was almost an hour and a half at Tony Atlas last week, talking about his Mid-Atlantic Championship wrestling days and some of the brutal things that the wrestlers did to the wrestling groupies back then. This week, Tony, he actually answers fan questions and shares life advice on Ask Atlas. That's at 10 p.m. tonight. And don't forget tomorrow night at 10, and what I thought was a very good episode for fans of early 90s WWF wrestling, the Native American Tatanka will be back. And with that said, of course, we are hard at work on our Wrestle House and all the guests who are trying to line up to join us in Tampa for interviews and live episodes and cyber autograph signings, along with, again, of course, the world-renowned eBay store that's open 24/7. Pick up some great merch for WrestleMania season for your man cave and get an on-air shout-out from Tony himself. And, of course, that Patreon streaming service over at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling. You get early access to all of the Wrestling Insider programming, access to those studio shoot interview DVDs that have been seen by millions online, millions on the Howard Stern Show. You get some Patreon exclusive content. We have a great Marty Jannetty watch-along coming on April 1st. And, of course, the knowledge that you fine folk, when you head to the bathroom before you go to bed to brush your teeth, you know when you look at that face that you're helping keep professional wrestling legends working. For my partner in crime, Dave Carter, I'm Dan Mirade. We'll see you at 10 o'clock with Tony Atlas. The World Wrestling Federation was live at the Los Angeles Sports Arena in Los Angeles, California, Monday, March the 16th, 1987, where Entertainment Tonight was filming highlights and interviews to air before WrestleMania 3. In the opening contest, Outback Jack beat Frenchie Martin. Jacques Rougeau with the win over Bob Orton via disqualification. Blackjack Mulligan defeated Nikolai Volkov. The Iron Sheik victorious over Nick Kininsky. Raymond Rougeau battled Don Morocco to a time-limit draw. Hercules beat the Rebel Dick Slater, and in the main event, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Tito Santana, and Blackjack Mulligan, who replaced the Junkyard Dog, defeated WWF Intercontinental Champion Macho Man Randy Savage, Adrian Adonis, King Harley Race, and Butch Reed in an elimination match in Piper's farewell in Los Angeles before retiring at WrestleMania 3. If you were in LA live, share your memories in the comment section below. Use the links in the description box to keep wrestling legends working in our eBay store and on our Patreon streaming service so we can bring you more interactive superstar shoot interviews to relive the good old days of professional wrestling. Check it out. Boston wrestling sports in the MWF explodes into a new year with professional wrestling content galore and need you to join our family. Every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. after our Monday Night Raw review, it's Wrestling Insiders at your house with WWE Hall of Famer Mr. USA Tony Atlas. Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. after NXT and AEW, join rotating legends on Wrestling Insiders Special Edition. Every Thursday night at 10 p.m. after our NXT and Dynamite review, it's Marty Jannetty's no-holds-barred sex, drugs, and rock and roll journey on Wrestling Insiders Party with Marty. Friday night after SmackDown, don't miss John Cena Sr.'s Wrestling Insiders Fabulous Fridays. Plus, look for classic clips, history videos, bonus live episodes, pay-per-view watch-alongs, and more. For less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks, get early ad-free access to our Wrestling Insider talk shows, our acclaimed studio shoot interview DVD library, and help keep wrestling legends working during the worst of times. Join our growing family at patreon.com/Boston Wrestling.